Hey guys, so I don't know how many of you have heard about the power outage and the internet outage and the phone outage in Spain and South Portugal, and there was one more place, I can't remember the other place, but it was out for 12 hours straight. And they're saying it was, I don't know what they're saying. Whatever they're saying is untrue because this is all planned. Okay? They're getting us ready, and there's so many people, thank goodness, who are awake to what's going on. They're preparing us for what's to come. Okay? In the Bible, it speaks about there's going to be complete darkness. And that's what they're preparing us for. But as I've always talked about, to jump from that subject to this subject, I've always talked about there's phases and the fires and the smoke. You know, I've always talked about demons manifest in smoke, right? All right, well, I've also talked about tree spirits, and I'm fixing to prove that to you. What you're looking at right here, do you see this space right here? These are trees right here. You see this face with the long nose right here? Here's the long nose. Here's an eye. Here's an eye. And the mouth is kind of underneath the long nose, and it's looking up. There's that one. Here's this one with the eye here, the nose here, and the mouth here. And you can see these faces over here. You can only see partial because the eye is hidden over here, but here's a big eye with the black mouth and the nose. These are in the trees. Here's a face here, in here too, with two black eyes. I see it. Here's a smaller face down here looking upwards, but you see that eye? The nose. He's looking up. There's a whole bunch of faces in here. I'm just showing you the bigger one, you know, with the eye here. And there's a small one right here. Eye, nose, and the open mouth right here. And then if I turn it this way, here's a face with an eye, a nose, and the mouth down here. The big nose right here. And there's one lying on its side. I mean, the more you turn your phone, I mean, the faces are always all over the place. But this is the explosion that happened. It looks like it started here and went here and then just blew up here. But I want y'all to look at all the faces in here. Here's a side view of one right here with the big nose, the eye, the chin, and the mouth looking that way. Here's a face here looking that way. I want you to look at this one that's got its tongue stuck out. Here's the tongue. Here's the big eye right here. Big eye. You can't see the other eye because it's hid behind here. But this is a face right in here with its tongue sticking out. Here's a face here looking that way. Here's a face up here, eye, and a mouth here. And there's faces all in the fire too. See the eye, the nose, and the mouth right here. And then here's a face down here. You see that face? I think I said that one already. Here's a small one right here looking that way. But this one just really stood out to me, this one right here. With that big eye, with the black ring around the eye. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this black ring around their eye. And a lot of the music artists, when they're in the middle of doing their shape-shifting, and here it is here. It's because this is all fallen angels, demons, whatever. I think it's a mixture of all. But this one is blowing smoke out of its mouth. This one, you can't hardly see it because it's hid. Well, no, you can. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. Here's the eye. Here's the nose with the open mouth with the smoke coming out, manifesting another one, because this is how they do. They blow the smoke out of their mouth or nose to create more. Here's a big one right here with the eye, the big nose, and the mouth. But these are trees back behind here. You can't hardly see those faces. But here's a face right here and here. Look, this is a tree, you guys. You see the face right there? That's because there's spirits in the trees. This is a tree. You can see that face right there. And here's a face here with the triangle eyes. How many times have I said triangle eyes? So there's a face right up there. And there's little bitty ones popping up here. And then here's a face down here. An eye, and he's blowing something out. You see that line going right there? That's because he's blowing something out, and it's creating more right here. So I wanted to point this out, and let me show something else. Alright, I'm fixing to show. I've also talked in the past about how these orbs, which are the Ophanim, or the Merkaba, okay? The Merkaba, which the Merkaba and the Ophanim, they're the Ezekiel's wheels, the wheels within wheels, that, you know, the angels that have eyes all over them, right? Okay, inside the Pokemon ball are, I hate to tell y'all, for all the kids who used to, you know, collect these card sets and played the game and watched the videos and all that of Pokemon, these characters that are in Pokemon are all demons. And, you know, Pikachu's tail is a lightning bolt for Lucifer. I feel like lightning. You know, Pikachu has a lightning bolt tail, which represents Lucifer or fallen angels. He is yellow like the sun, representing the sun god. That's what that is, you guys. And here's some images of Merkaba. The orbs are round, and I'm always saying they have a white glow around them. And I've always, well, not always, but a lot of times I've pointed out the rainbow colors. Rainbow colors. The Merkaba, or the Ophanim, and look what's inside it. A fallen angel. It's a fallen angel. And inside here too. And I see a demon face right up here. Of course, here's another one right here with the big nose. These demon faces always have either critter faces, or they look like human faces, or they look like the old gods from the past, or they look like these goddesses and all that stuff. They have all different kind of faces. I see faces up here. Here's a profile profile side view, kind of looking upward right here. So there's that. Okay, here's the Ophanim. And, you know, it's the spears, the wheels, or the whirlwinds, Ezekiel's vision. And, you know, the Hebrew name for Ophanim is Merkaba. The heavenly chariot, the Merkaba, the four wheels had rims, and they had spokes, and their rims were full of eyes. It's the orbs, and they're glowing white. Like I've always said, they glow white around them with all these shape-shifting so-called birds and all that. They always have a glow around them. I've always pointed that out. And this is Ezekiel having his vision of what they looked like. Here's a Pokemon ball, and it's showing him shooting lasers out. How many times have we seen lasers in the sky? Here's the Pokemon ball. I'm just going to show y'all some more. Here is the black band that goes around it with the circle in the front. This is what I've always tried to describe. I have seen these things in the sky. I can't tell you how many. For the past 4 years, I've been filming them. All different colors. They can change into whatever color they want to. Be it clear, be it a rainbow color, be it green, purple, red, blue, yellow. Doesn't matter. They change into, I mean, even vibrant colors like turquoise and, you know, much more vibrant colors. And as you can see, I wrote Merkaba, chariots of fallen angels here. And inside this Pokemon ball is a demon. It's the Merkaba, the chariots, the Ezekiel's wheels. This is the round thing that I see in the sky, and that is a fallen, that's what that is, a fallen angel in there. And he's flying his little thing around. This is what I was explaining very recently in one of my videos about how these things can bend time and space. They're interdimensional. And this is their little spacecraft thing, you know, that they fly around in. I know this sounds weird because we weren't taught this all of our life. We didn't. Well, maybe some of us knew about this, but I sure didn't, and I know a lot of us didn't. But it does say in the end times that everything will be revealed, and oh boy, is that ever happening now? But this, they're telling you right to your face, you guys, putting it right into your face, but we just didn't know it back then. And it's showing how little puffs of smoke is coming out. And that's what comes out of these things. It creates the smoke stuff, which turns into so-called clouds. There's tons and tons and tons of these in the sky. And they're all blowing out smoke. And these things in the sky, every one of them has the circle with the black band. Sometimes they're black on the bottom, white on the top. Sometimes they're all silver, whatever. All these silver metallic orbs that everybody's seeing. Yeah, it's them. It's these. But a lot of these in the sky look just like this, except for they're cut around the whole outer rim, going all the way from the top to the bottom. There's triangles, there's squares, and I think that's because that's all faces of all these, demons or fallen angels or whatever. They all have that shape of eyes, and so I want to point that out. Here's another one with a demon inside it, and this is a clear one, and it's in the purple, and I mean, all these orbs that people are seeing, they change colors so rapidly. But there's that black band around it again with the circle. This is what I've always wanted to show y'all, because I've always, tried to explain it, but I know it's hard to visualize it in your head sometimes. But, that's why I wanted to show it now. Yeah, it's a fallen angel inside, because that's what that is. They're telling you right to our face. Hey, we're just an innocent kids thing, but really we're not. Really, we're fallen angels, and haha, we got y'all. They sure did for a long time. Here's a bunch of faces over here. Here's a face looking that way with kind of a pinkish nose, the eye right there, and the teeth right there. See that? Right there. There's more faces over here, but it's hard to make them out. That's an eye, that's an eye. Here's the open mouth here. But I'm not going to point all of them out. But yeah. You see the orb right there, the glowing orb. And here's the best part of all. They even put an M on them for Merkaba. Of course, I'm sure that M is supposedly means something else, but no, it's the Merkaba. And you see how they've got it here in all these different colors. Yeah, this is all them. They're showing you right to our face. See how some of these look, one color on the top, one on the bottom, and others are all solid. Yeah. How many times have I made videos saying I see black, big, huge Pokemon balls in the sky, and I know I sounded crazy, but here it all is, you guys. They can change into whatever they want to. They can glow. They don't have to glow. They just, whatever their needs are at the time to fool us, that's what they use. And there's the demon right there. Look, the black eyes. He's got the tongue sticking out, it looks like. And it's coming out of another little orb in the center. And here's these things. I can't, like the shape-shifting birds that I have filmed with the weird white-looking legs and the weird things on their feet. There it is, right there. The same exact thing I've been filming for 4 years. When these shape-shifting birds have been on the ground, I've seen their white legs and these weird white things on their feet. Because that's what these things use to manifest with. They have to have some type of a machine type thing. That's why there's all these songs out there about the machine. Kat Von D sings a song, I Am a Machine. Then there's Pink Floyd, Welcome to the Machine. Yeah. Here's a bunch of them. They're showing them all glowing. Ophanim, the wheels within wheels, are the Merkaba. Here's another clear one with the demon inside, our fallen angel. And here's other faces up in here. Here's a little one. Here's a face up here. Here's one up here with the triangle eye. And the big nose and the big lips. There's another little face right down here. Here's another face over here. Black eye, open mouth nose. Here's another small one right here with white eyes. Here's another. The faces just keep going. Because wheels within wheels, you guys. It's the eyes all over it. Crazy, huh? And this is showing the glowing blue, you know, on the bottom with the red on the top. With the faces inside. With the faces inside. There's one peeking out right there. Here's another one with the fallen angel. And oh, look, it's got wings. Imagine that. Imagine that. It's got wings. It's like, hey, we're telling you right to your face, but y'all don't know. And I'm not saying that, because I didn't know either, you guys. I didn't know either. Oh, boy, but everything's coming out now. I've been knowing this for 4 years, though. And I've been trying to tell people, but I've been called every name in the book. But I didn't stop. I didn't let it stop me, you guys. If I had any doubt in my head, if I was questioning whether, is this right or not? I wasn't. That's why I just kept going, because I know this is real. I know this is true. And it's not of my own doing. Let me repeat that I've said in my other videos. It's not of my own doing. I could not have found all this out on my own, you guys. There's no way. It was literally the Holy Spirit showing me everything. Because I had prayed so hard. Just kept praying over and over. Please give me wisdom. Please give me discernment. I don't want to be deceived, Father. Just show me what I need to see. You know, I'm a big girl. I can handle it. Let me see. I want to know the truth. I'm tired of the lies. I don't want to be lied to. And that's when everything started happening. And I kid you not, this is how it happened for me. Y'all, Jesus is real. The Holy Spirit's real. Our Father in heaven is very real. He answers our prayers. He certainly did mine. Here's a face up here. And it looks like it's looking at that thing. There's an eye. There's an eye. Here's the big, huge nose. And something's either coming out of it, going to this one, or something's coming out of this one, going to that one. This is how they do. The little smoke stuff comes out of their nose or their mouth, and they create new ones. And then it just keeps going. And I wanted to show this. This is in a video of supposedly what's to come. And what is it showing? It's showing a tree with orbs in it. How many times have I pointed out orbs in the trees? And it's standing up on its own. There was a video I made some time back where I was talking about these trees and stuff that we're going to see things that we can't even imagine right now. But I think the time's coming, because there's been way too many movies about it. These trees and bushes and vines, you know, like in the Addams Family, like in The Wizard of Oz, where the tree, what does it do? It grabs Dorothy and throws apples at her or whatever. And then in the Addams Family movie, where that wicked woman was walking around outside trying to find the family's fortune or whatever, and all of a sudden the vines grab her. And then there's plenty other movies about, you know, the Venus flytrap, plants grabbing people and all kind of stuff. But yeah, look at that. A tree just standing up on the pavement. I think we're going to see some weird things in the future, you guys. It's got orbs in the tree. That's because these fallen angels, whatever, can manifest into anything they want to. Even a tree, so-called tree. This is another image of fire and smoke. You can see faces all in here. If you look, I mean, there's just faces all in here, all up here. See the faces? Here's a face right here. I mean, they're just everywhere. Here's one with triangle eyes. Triangle eyes, kind of. Faces. See, this kind of looks like kind of looks like a cat and that would be its ears. See the critter looking thing? Here's an orb. Here's one of them right here. White on the bottom, darker on the top. And the black band that goes around it. Right there. because these things right here are all in here. That's what I just showed on that so-called Pokemon. It's not a Pokemon. I don't really know what Pokemon means. It could be. I haven't even looked up the meaning of Pokemon. Here's a face right here too. Right here. They're everywhere in here. But anyway, I just showed where that Pokemon ball was, had little puffs of smoke coming out of it. There's a Pokemon ball right there. But there's faces all in here. I see them everywhere. And here's another image of the same thing. Look at that big face up here. Look, right up here. Black eye, nose, and mouth. In the Bible, it says some of these angels looks like man. That's why these faces look like man. Or men and women and children. There's a face right here. Of course, they're like I said, they're everywhere. All right, I want to point out you see these black things right here. And you can barely make out the little circles. Look, here's a Pokemon ball with the black band and the circle on it right there in the front. There's a Pokemon ball right there. It's all white, got the black band and the round circle. And these are all little tiny ones, all bunched together with the black bands around them and the little circles on the front. Here's a Pokemon ball up here. But yeah, I mean, look at that face right there. It looks human, doesn't it? And then I just saw one. Let's see. Where is it? Here's some right here. You see these faces right here? There's two of them. There's triangle eyes upside down. They're upside down triangles. And look, there's a face right there. You see it right here? And there's faces up here. I mean, the faces, here's what's so strange. All the faces are so crammed together. It makes they all work in conjunction together to make something. Here's Pokemon balls right here. Look, the black band going across with the circle. The black circle right there. See that? Here's a face. Here's faces all down here. And they're all any color they're any color they want to. And look, here's a face with smoke coming out of its mouth. Going right here to create this one right here. You see that? All these right here are coming out of the mouth. Here's a face. It's coming out of this nose right here. All these strands is what's coming out of these demons or fallen angels. So there's that. These are two kittens that I'm supposed to be getting. This one right here and this one, the black one right here. This one's got two different colored eyes. It's got one blue and one brown. Look how adorable they are. Look at that. They're Maine Coon kittens. Here's another thing I wanted to show. This was in a video that I was just watching about all the graphene and the nano that's inside of each and every one of us. Whether you got the snake bite or not, it's in each and every one of us and every animal. I want you to pay attention to this symbol right here. And it's on each and every square. And there's actually faces on here too. There's a face, an eye, and the nose is right there, and the mouth is right here. I know it can't be made out very good, and I apologize for that. But there's faces on these as well. But yeah, pay attention to this symbol right here, because I'm fixing to show you something. It is this symbol right here. The Knights Templar. And whoa, they got it inside of an orb. Imagine that. And that's the Knights Templar. The Illuminati, that rule the world. My sincere... Oh, what should I say? I was going to say thought. That's not the word I'm trying to come up with. I sincerely think these are fallen angels. Right here. That have been ruling the world. I think that. And here's the other symbol right there. The Templar cross. There it is right there. And that's what's inside each and every one of us. Because they're trying to build something. They're trying to change our DNA. And this is all part of the New World Order that's coming. And here's another image, just, you know, showing them again. See what I mean? How they got them in all different colors so that they can be any color that they need to be to blend in with their environment. If they're in the sky, you know, they're blending in. I mean, it's crazy, you guys. But look, there's that black band in the round circle that I was just showing y'all in those clouds. And I don't even call them clouds anymore, really. I mean, it's the smoke stuff that they create. That's not real clouds up there. It may have used to been in the past, but it's certainly... But, you know, I even question that. Because in the Bible, it does say, who's the prince of the air? You know, I think they control these storms. Because I've seen these things in every storm, and every tornado, and every, you know, fire... and things of that nature. They're always there. And I've heard many other people say it too. But I'm going to show you something else in a video real quick. So one moment. Here's another image of an orb, which is the Ophanim or the Merkaba. But inside here, there's an orb back there. Another orb. And this weird thing... Many people, including myself, has filmed things like this in the sky. Because these things, when they're flying around, they just keep shape-shifting into different looking things. But 4 years ago, when I began filming these, I caught so many of these strange looking things falling in the sky. Or not falling, but, you know, flying around in the sky. That look just like that. And there's a little bitty face right there on it. Right there. Hard to make out, but that's a tiny little face right there. So all these things flying around the sky, you can see there's a big face behind it. Here's an eye, here's an eye, here's the nose, and the mouth. The light is covering the mouth. But this was supposedly a helicopter chasing an orb. Because they're fooling everybody, is what they're doing. But this is no helicopter. This is them shape-shifting into a helicopter. You can see the big face behind it. You can tell. I mean, here's a big face looking this way. See this? The eye, the black eye, the nose, and the smiling mouth looking upward. Right there. But this right here, you can't see it, but there's part of a little face right up here. This is not a helicopter. This is them. These are the so-called Pokemon balls lighting up. Making this, and this is supposedly a helicopter chasing the orb across the sky. And you know, all this grid stuff that I keep catching in the sky, you can see it here. See this weird grid pattern? This is them. This is all them, you guys. I know it's hard to wrap. It's crazy. Here's a face, two black eyes, kind of looking that way. Here's two black eyes up here. The Ezekiel's wheels. The faces, the eyes, there's 4 heads around each one, but when you look at these things, there's so many more faces than just 4. And here's another thing I wanted to point out. This right here on the house, that is a face, you guys, right there. It was staring at the man as he was filming. I know it's hard to make out, so very hard, but this is an eye, a nose, and a mouth right down here, and it was literally staring at him. Because think of a ghost. I mean, you know, you can't really see it when you know what I'm trying to say. I think you do. I'm not doing a very good job at explaining it. I'm sorry, but hopefully y'all know what I mean. But all these things, see, this is supposed to be a helicopter. Where'd it go? It's just 2 little lights now, and you can't even see it. All these stars, they're luminaries, you guys. That's what the stars are. They're luminaries. And there's faces. You can see the faces behind them. That one's got a glowing eye and then a white eye in the nose and bunch of little orbs. It's crazy. But you can see all the fuzziness looking stuff behind them These are all fallen angels, you guys. That's what these all are. That's what these are. Here's one of the kittens I'm supposed to be getting. See that blue eye with the... Isn't it cute? That one. There's a picture. There's it laying down. There's it sitting up. That's one I was thinking of. And that's one I was thinking of. But... There's the other one I'm supposed to be getting. That one right there. Here's a new movie coming out about Predator. What is Predator about? That's that thing that can move, you know, and you can't see it. It goes invisible. Her eyes turn white in the movie. There sure is a lot of, you know, so-called people's eyes that are turning white too, like Lady Gaga and a bunch of other so-called music artists and actors. Their eyes turn white. Even during interviews and things like that. And they're putting it right in your face. Yeah, I wrote, they have to tell you her eyes are white because she is possessed by demons. She's either possessed or she is a literal fallen angel. I don't completely know which one, but it's one or the other. I'll just put it that way. This is not contacts, you guys. It is not contacts. I can promise you that. And here's a book. On the book cover, it's got 4 faces. See how they can, because they have to tell you, again, this is the cover. This is on the cover of a book. Putting it in plain sight regarding shape-shifting fallen angels and demons and how they deceive the masses. They hide behind a mask and can manifest into anything they want to. And this is them showing us right here to our face. On Ezekiel's wheels, there's 4 heads, 4 different faces, and looky there. And one is an alien, imagine that. But really, this is what's all behind it, is Satan. He's the one controlling everything. And look on this alien's head, the all-seeing eye. And the black eyes. Putting it right in our face. And this right here is what's happening, the return of the gods. And this was somebody else that was filming the sky, and they noticed, that sure is a strange looking airplane. It's supposed to be, this was on Mr. MBB333's channel though. And although I agree with some stuff he says, there's a whole lot of stuff he says that I don't. But this was supposedly an airplane that was crashing into an orb. I don't believe that, not for one split second. No, this is all the same thing, fooling everybody. This is no airplane. This is fallen angels. This is the same thing I've been filming, others been filming, and it's all the same thing, fallen angels, the Ophanim, the Merkaba. And this is just them in another kind of form. And this is the face right here, looking upwards with its mouth open. The eye here, the nose, and the mouth looking upward. But you can see that is no airplane. And it's crashing right into that. And see how it opened up? And that looks like the, that reminds me of the Pac-Man. Wonder where Pac-Man came from. Oh boy, they've been telling us a long time. And we just never knew it. Let's see, there's a face here. It's very difficult to make out, but it's on the side over here. There's another one down here peeking out. Yeah, you can see he wrote that on the video. The plane and the UFO collide. Oh, he called it a UFO. Okay, I thought it was an orb. He called it a UFO. Yeah. It's all demons, all fallen angels. That's what this all is. And this is supposed to be the plane right here, but as you can see, there's a big old black eye right there. And that ain't no UFO. It's the Merkaba, the Ophanim, the fallen angels. And this I just kind of wanted to show, because this is supposedly the sun. It's got these long arm things coming out, how it curved like that. That's them blowing out the smoke, is what it is. It's and here's an orb right up here, big old orb. It's what a lot of people call the hockey puck, because it looks like a hockey puck. I've filmed them so many times, black on the bottom, white on the top. But these things change into what looks like a Pokemon ball. Black on the bottom, white on the top. It's round. And I want to show Bill Gates because he's in the middle of shape-shifting. He's got all this, I always call it this weird fungus-looking stuff coming off of them because that's what it looks like. It's literally what it looks like. And here we have a fungus pandemic going on. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? But this finger right here is white with the black on it. This is all part of their stuff. I believe he's a fallen angel too. I do. I do not believe he's a human. Because humans don't shapeshift. And he's got orbs flying around him. Black and white orbs are flying around him. And his fingers, they turned into claws. And see how long this finger got and how long that finger got. And these two are shorter. Yeah, that's because he's in the middle of shapeshifting. But I caught him. And this so-called sleeve is square. Because these demons, or fallen angels, can manifest into anything they want to. Even the things that look like clothes on them. That is completely rectangle shaped right there. But yeah, this is like an opening here. Same on the birds that I catch. These weird openings where the beak will come out, or the legs will come out, or the head will come out, or the tail will come out. I kid you not. And don't say, oh, it's because he's moving his hands around. No, that is not what it is. No, and I stand firm in that, you guys. If anybody thinks I'm crazy, that's fine. You can think that. I've been doing this long enough, and I know what this is now. I know what it is. This is not a human. And his mouth is black. Really black inside. You can see that black mouth too, right there. Look how black that mouth is. And he's got bumps, because that's that fungus stuff coming out of him. I call it fungus, because it looks like it. But, yeah, and he's got more orbs. Here's one here, flying in the back of him. And his eyes turn black here. It's very difficult to see. He's got a slit in this eye, but this one over here is black. And he's got the stuff protruding out, popping out of him as he's... That was a different shaped orb thing that flew behind him. These orbs, they're constantly flying around these things because they're all working together to manifest whatever they need manifested at the time. And this was in some water. I want you to see the face down here, the black eye, looking at this man as he was playing music for this geese. And look at this face over here. You see it? The triangle eyes. There's the triangle eyes right there. Two of them. Two triangle eyes. And the big nose in the mouth looking at him. And here's another one. Triangle eye. Triangle eye looking up, kind of up that way. In the water right here. Because these things are everywhere. They're everywhere. And this is what a doctor on Facebook took. The name of her channel is called Rhea No More Silence. This is what is inside of each and every one of us. This is how they're trying to change our DNA. They're putting this in our food, in our water, in our cleaning products, in our personal products, in the baby products, in the pet products. It's in everything. Absolutely everything. It's falling from the sky in the chemtrails. They're wanting to change our DNA. And they're transforming this earth. As I've always said, they're transforming this earth so that they can live here on the surface is what this is all about. I know this is gross. This is what somebody in one of my Morgellons groups, her daughter, young daughter, just vomited this. This came out of her. You see this? This is not something she ate or nothing like that. It is this stuff that's all in us now, and this is what her daughter threw out. You guys, the stuff they're raining down on us, it's parasites. It's hybrid parasites, which was in that movie. I'm sure it's in many more. It's even in music videos. But in Stargate, they talk about these parasites that want to get into the human. Okay? Because they have to tell us. But this looks like some type of Hydra thing, because that's another thing. The hybrid Hydra is that it's the bacteria, it's the fungus, it's the graphene, it's the nanotech. and it's diseases, and it's just all kind of stuff that they're raining down on us. And this is supposed to be the person that's taken over for Klaus Schwab at WEF. I want you to look at that eye. That's not no disease he's got. Oh no. That's not a human you're looking at. Right here. Something's wrong here. Something's wrong, all right. That ain't no human. This is going to be somebody. This is somebody who says that humans. This will tell you right here, this is not no human. Because this right here says humans, that water should not be a right for them. Humans do not have right to water. That's what he said. That's because he's not human. And they're always putting it in your face by doing their little hand signs right here. She's got the red and black on for sacrifice, blood, and for death. And then these, you know, way back when, the Nephilim, you know, a lot of people know about the Nephilim clown. Why would they have these people dressing like Nephilim clowns for the Pope's death? Yeah. Nephilim clowns. Look that up if you're not familiar with that. Nephilim clowns. It's all on the internet. And they got the X's all over the place. Let's see. I had pointed something else out. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, one thing I wanted to point out about these hand signs, when they're charged, is they're magic for them. Not for us, of course, but for them. You know, because they're in the club, and we don't want to be in the club. And I think the club literally means the Fallen Angel Club. I literally think that's what it means. Our leaders are not people. They're fallen angels. I fully believe that. And until I find something out different, then I would say, but for 4 years straight now, I'm standing firm, and they're fallen angels. They are not human. Humans can't shapeshift. But fallen angels and demons can. But yeah, they through their sacrifices, through their rituals and all that, these are charged, you know, hand signs, and all the symbols that they use, they're charged, you guys. If y'all don't know what that means, look that up. And here's more of these, you know, Ophanim, the Merkaba. I can see the eye, 2 eyes right up here, but... And then this is a face too. Y'all may not be able to see it. And here's another one right here. Looking up. You can see the outline of it. I'm having to hold my phone with 2 hands, so I can't. Let me see. Hold on. Right up here. There's the nose. There's the black eye. Here's the chin. And it's looking upward. Right there. And then it changed into all these colors. See all these vibrant colors? These Pokemon ball things, which is not a Pokemon ball, it's the Merkaba, the, you know, Ophanim. They can change into any color they want to. I see red lips right here and a little eye right here. And it's blowing smoke out right there. And here's a Pokemon ball right here. It's red on the top, white on the bottom, and there's the black band right there. The black circle right there, and the black band right there. There's a Pokemon ball right there. Which, again, it's not a Pokemon ball, but, you know. And I just showed y'all a red and white Pokemon ball a minute ago. Look, you can see it. See that black circle that right there? You can see half of it. And there's the black band. That's the Pokemon ball right there. Right there. And this is the same one. You can see a face here, the eye, the nose, and the mouth. Here's one up here, the eye, the nose. Here's a face over here. They're looking at, looks like there's 2 faces, right? 3 faces. That's what I'm saying. There's faces everywhere. Here's a big face down here with a squared off chin, kind of, with the eye. And that's a Pokemon ball in there. It's white. It's white and it's got black smoke coming out of it. And here's the same one again. And here's the light band, the fallen angel inside of it. Right there. I just showed y'all the Pokemon balls in the beginning where it showed the little demon or fallen angel, should I say, inside of it, right? This is it right here. You can't make it out very good. There's a face right there. There's a face on it. And here's a face over here too with the black triangle eyes. You see that face looking right at you, kind of? This one right here. And this stuff right up here, the little black and white, those are teeny tiny little round Pokemon ball things. Black on the top, white on the bottom, black on the bottom, white on the top. There's another Pokemon ball thing over here. Again, you guys, I know they're not called Pokemon balls. I'm just saying that because that's what, you know, what they're called for the kids thing, whatever. But no, it's the Merkaba, the Ophanim. Here's a Pokemon. Here, I'm just gonna call them Pokemon balls. So you guys, here's one right here. But this stuff right here, this is what I see popping out when they're shape shifting. And this is what I always say looks like fungus stuff popping out of them. This is what always comes out of them. This stuff right here. And this is the same one. See how it's turned into a bright green now. Here's a face down here. But they just, it's all the same thing. It just keeps changing into different colors. And here's a face over here looking that way. The eye up here, the nose and the mouth. Looks like the tongue sticking out. Here's one eye right here. You can't see the other one. With the big mouth going across. And here's a face up here. It's hard to make it out, but it's right up here. And here, this whole thing is it right here. There's an eye right here. But this is the fallen angel right in here. The light being. Here's a big old face over here. Here's the rainbow colors. Here's the rainbow colors right here. And here it is again, another shot of it with the rainbow colors. And here's part of the Pokemon ball. There's the black band and the round circle right here. The all white with the black band and the round circle. Pokemon balls. This is why I've always called them Pokemon. I've always called them when I have been filming before. And when I've been talking in my videos, I'll always say, look at the Pokemon thingamajiggies. Because I didn't know what to call them at that time. But now I know. It's the Ophanim or the Merkaba. That's what they're called. And this is supposed to be the KFC Colonel. Look at his black eyes right here, you guys. His eyes turned all black. I caught him. All black eye. This is a video on YouTube. I don't recommend, all I can say is just be cautious with what you watch. I mean, a lot of these videos will tell partial truths, but you just got to be very cautious with who you listen to and what you believe. Just take everything with a grain of salt, and always seek the guidance from the Holy Spirit, from Jesus. But I just want to show this because you see that there's eyes all over the place. It doesn't show the 4 faces here of these, Ophanim. I'll pull that up in a minute, but I just wanted to show these. Ophanim, the strangest angels of heaven explained. So I haven't listened to this yet. I don't know if they're, exposing complete truth. I just don't know. So I'd never recommend these videos, but I wanted to show this, and I want to show something else. You see how these, it's got the big old eye in them, and these are the fallen angels right here. See, they have the glow around them. They got that glow around them. This is only showing 3 of the faces. Oh no, it shows the 4. I'm sorry. Yeah. The bird, the eagle, the lion, the face of a man, and it showed, wait. Well, no. I guess I should have read this before I started talking about it. Give me just a minute. Well, it is talking about the 4 faces here. I saw a wheel, and then beside each creature with its 4 faces. And then it talks about the topaz and all that. And, I think that's why these things sparkle and they look like different colors. But I was hoping that they would name each creature, but I don't see that here. And it's got a dragon on it. Notice that. And notice they're round like the Pokemon ball, but you don't see the band around these. But see how it's got the eyes all around it? And I just wanted to show this because you see them flying all throughout the sky. They're everywhere. Just like I've been filming for the past 4 years. These things are everywhere in the sky. And if you have the eyes to see, you'll see them. And here it's talking about the seraphim, the thrones, and the many-eyed ones. Alright, you guys, I'll end it here because this video is long enough. But, it's just showing the wheels within wheels with the eyes all over them. And it's got the 4 heads around it. The one of a human, the one of a lion, the one of a bull, and the one of a eagle, I do believe. So, and it's got these things that look like orbs up here. With the bands around them. And the little circle right there. What I was just showing. Imagine that. So yeah, it's, again, the round, Ophanim, the Merkaba with the black band and the circle and the fallen angel inside. So I'll just end it at that. If y'all want to look these up, just look up Pokemon balls. That's what I looked up. Because there's tons and tons. Even the silver ones. They show the all silver spears, orbs that people are seeing and filming in the sky too. Because like I said, these things come in all colors. It's whatever they need them to be at the time. Alright, you guys, I'm going. I hope this helped, and I hope this, encourages you to look into things and to turn to Jesus Christ, because we are in such a late hour. The things that they're planning for us, it's all ramping up. Things are happening so quickly, and people just don't know. They think it's just nonsense. They don't want to believe it. But neither did the people in the days of Noah. They didn't want to believe it either until it was too late. Then they were begging to get in the ark. So that's all I can say. I just got to end it at that. Alright, you guys, I love y'all. Y'all be safe. Y'all take care, and God bless. Bye.